All right, who here knows the 5 principles of existence? Anna, you know. Hmm? So today we're going to talk about the 5 principles of existence. It's principles of that the life, an entire universe. We're going to see this principle, what it is. And the first one is you exist. Anybody has a doubt of that? That you exist? Do you? Okay, so I didn't change. Sorry. Marcelo, you need to click on top of the thing here to change. Not changing. Aye, here we go. It's not working here. You change it for me. Hold on one second. All right. Not functioning. Hold on. Forever. Forever. You always existed, and you're going to exist forever. This is a thing that is never going to change. There is no way that you're going to be able to destroy yourself. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Never, never. So, on this concept, you see that a lot of people try to take their lives away because of problems, obstacles in life, ups and downs, and they go over there and try to cease everything, try to end. But when they end their life, it doesn't end, it continues. Because the problems of life does not exist externally. It's all within you. That's the reason why when a person killed herself, it continued on the other side exactly the same way. Because that person will take everything with them to wherever they go. Because they think life is an exterior thing, and it's not. Life is something interior. And wherever you go, you're going to take life with you. Life only exists because we do exist. And when we have this thinking that you exist, right? And you see this as one that you exist here and you're going to exist forever. There is no ending on this that you exist. A person, before taking her life or before doing things related to the external life, if the person has this concept that you're always going to exist and nothing's going to change, the life exists inside of you, and wherever I go, those troubles or whatever how they see life is going to be with them, they're going to change the concept of life. They're going to change this ending things. Sometimes we read books that people that kill themselves and they wake up on the other side. There is a good book about this. They call The Memories of a Suicidal. And he tells his story. And he kills himself. And when he wakes up on the other side, and he sees that he's still with the problems that he wanted to leave behind. He killed himself because he was becoming blind, and he couldn't take that. So he killed himself, and then when he wakes up on the other side, he didn't have any vision. He continued losing his vision. He was unable to fix what he was trying to fix, ending his life. So you're going to exist forever. There is no way that you're not going to exist. You are not only immortal, you are, how can I say, you are always eternal. You are eternal, right? This is the first concept of existence. Think it this way, okay? So 2 things that you need to think. You exist forever, and life exists inside of you and not outside of you. Remember that, okay? Life is a process not externally, it's internally, okay? If this planet had no living beings, do you call that life? No. If you go to Mars, there is nothing Mars. There is no living beings, there is no bacteria, there is nothing there. Is there life there? There's no life. So life only exists where you exist. So when you see something external outside of you, is an illusion. You need to start focus on you. You. Because if you see something that is happening and is wrong, is because the cause of this wrong is who? You. If you don't like the life that you're living right now, the cause of this is who? You. It's always like this. All right? Let's go to the next one. That is, whoops, you change your, go ahead and change. Everything is here and now. We already know that physics already explained this to us. You're going to have to stay there, Marcelo, to change. You're going to know that science is already seen that there is no future and there is no past. It's only the present. So everything's happening right now. We create this word future because of anxiety. We create this word tomorrow because of we lost the concept of here and now. The tomorrow does not exist. The past does not exist the way we think it is, right? So 5 minutes from now, if I go into the kitchen, get a glass of water, look, I'm thinking about going to the kitchen, get a glass of water in 5 minutes. I already create that reality. Everything that you imagine in the future, you create this possibility. Everything. Every possibility that you think in the future, you are creating. That is the reason why there is multiple realities. When a person dies, what did they say? You're going to go where you vibrate, right? You're going to go where the reality you created. The reality that you fit in, that you created, that you made it bigger, that you made it exist. But if you live in the present without thinking about the future, that's anxiety. Without thinking about in the past, that's depression. If you stay here in the now, there is only one reality, the reality of the now. Okay? So when you started thinking about the future on the way off, should I do this or should I do that? You are creating an illusion now. If you're here right now, living the life the way you live, and you wake up in the morning, so your future is going to be your afternoon or your night. If you wake up in the morning and say, listen, I'm going to have a wonderful day, you're not putting yourself on the future or you're not putting yourself on the past. You are concentrating on the now. Why that the past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist? Because we as consciousness only exists on the present. The concept of the future is an illusion. The concept of the past that has already happened is also another illusion. If you go to look in science right now, science already knows that everything is one on top of the other. Everything's happening at the same time. If you're going to listen to this crazy cuckoo quantum guys physics, they say your future is happening right now. And your past is happening also right now. Do you understand that or no? No, right? Why? Because the perception of time no longer exists. We only have time here on the planet because we have the clock. If we never invented clock, do we have time? If I take you out of the planet Earth and put in the middle of the space, do you have concept of time? No. Because time is something created by us. Okay? There is no time. So there is no present, or there is no future, and there is no past. But if you are in the middle of the space by yourself, the only thing that you are certain is that you are dead on that moment. Right or wrong? You're not going to look at your clock and say it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's in the morning, it's night. Is the night coming or is not coming? So the concept of time was created by us. Why did we create the concept of time? Because as soon as we start distancing ourselves from our divinity and started looking with life outside, we started creating things outside to measure this illusion that we create outside. Why everything is happening at the same time? Because there is only one presence, the present. And the present and the future and the past is within you. Okay? So that's what it is right now. So stay on the present. If you go, when you go to bed and you lay down in the bed, you got to observe yourself. Where do your thoughts go? On the past or on the future? See where do you fluctuate more. A lot of people stays analyzing what they done during the day or during the week. Some people think about in the next day, right? And then what is that for? It's because your mind is already with the vice of going to the past or going to the future. Now, if you stay in the present, you sleep in seconds. Now, if you let your mind go into the past or go into the future, you don't sleep as fast. If you go to bed, lay down and train yourself to stay in the present, immediately you sleep. And how do you do that? Put someplace, look at some place in your room, or listen to a music, or listen to something to keep you in the present, or breathe. Listen to you breathing. You see how fast you sleep. Notice, if you go into the future, because you are a person with anxiety. And anxiety is dominated by what? Fear. Okay? The only reason the person goes into the future is because he's afraid of something. He wants to have control of something. He wants something to go right. And the reason that people go into the past is because they are not satisfied with their actions. And staying in the past is not going to change anything. So, anxiety dominated by fear. Okay? Depression dominated by sorrow. How do you say sorrow in Portuguese? No. Hmm? I don't think we have that in Portuguese. But it's a very good word in English, sorrow. You're not satisfied with your actions that are already passed. So you fixate into that, and it keeps you in the past, and that energy, it's the energy of depression. Hmm? No, it's not sadness. So understand this. When you're thinking about in the future, you put yourself out of the present because you're worried about something. If you worry, it's because you are dominated by fear. Now, if you're a person on the present, you know that tomorrow is going to take care of himself when that tomorrow is your present. Oh, it's like this. I have a problem. I have a problem to resolve tomorrow. Right? And you know you have this problem to resolve tomorrow. But the problem only is going to get resolved when?
But this problem could be from yesterday, and we keep on today, and tomorrow we're going to be again.
I understand. But that tomorrow needs to become your present. And the only way for that tomorrow become your present, Anna, it's when you stop worrying about tomorrow. Because when you worry about tomorrow, there is nothing you can do. You're only going to be able to do something when that tomorrow is your present. Oh, no? Yeah. Or you have superpowers to manipulate the future.
No.
Here we go. See, you understand? So the only reason you are concerned with tomorrow is because you're afraid. The only reason you are concerned with the past is because you're not satisfied with your actions. So none of those two exist. Only the present exists. What number is this? Number 3, right? So let's go to the most complicated one here now. Go ahead, Marcelo, pass it on. We are all one. This is the 4th concept of existence. We are all one. When we say all, we are not talking about human beings. We are talking about everything on this planet. Everything. Everything. Animals, insects, plants, organic, not organic, alive, not alive. We are all the same. It's like a tree. Can you separate the fruit from the tree? No. Can you separate the leaf from the tree? No. Can you separate the dirt that makes that tree grows from the tree? No. Can you separate the sunlight that makes that tree alive? No. Can you separate the water that makes that tree grow? No. Because it was a collaboration there. We collaborated because we want the good for ourselves. Right? When you want to help your kids, we only see this in family, right? You do everything for your family, your kids, right? And especially if you're a parent. If you're not a parent, you find somebody that you're very close to it, you're going to do everything for that somebody because you're doing as was for you. And we need to get into this concept of oneness because it's going to be the only path. This concept is the only path to take you away from judgment. You're only going to stop judging things and judging people when you change your head and say, listen, I'm no longer a separate individual of anything. Because when you think that you are an individual, you separate yourself from everything else. And when you separate yourself from everything else, sometimes you think you are better than others, and sometimes you are worse than others. Isn't that what happened? Now, if you don't separate yourself as an individual from the collective, you're never going to think that you're better or worse. What you going to think? We are what? And if you are equal, how can you judge something that is exactly like you? So this concept of oneness of the universe is the only way that we're going to stop judging. There is no other path. Unfortunately. And that's why the masters that came here to show us the path, focus and judgment more than anything else. Why? Because that's the path that is going to connect us all. They're going to make us whole. They're going to take us from separation from one another. There is no difference between you and a dog. There is no difference between you and a flea. There is no difference between you or an ant. And there is no difference from you from anything in this world. Because everything that makes everything else makes also yourself. You cannot judge another. Can you judge your arm? Can you judge your hand? Sometimes you do, right? People are crazy enough to look and say, my hands are too small, or my hands are too big, or I'm into this, I'm into that. They're judging themselves. They are no lower levels of understanding of who they are. So this concept of one, it's in all our teachings, but we let it pass. Because we want something that is in control. And in this concept here, no one is in control. There is no need for control. So Kardec, in the first question of the Spiritist book, he asks, what is God? God is the supreme intelligence, primary cause of all. He never mentioned love, forgiveness. What is the other good things that you see there? Compassion. What else? He never mentioned this. So why people keep saying those things? That God is love, God is compassion. Why? Because we have this notion that the God is individuality. We have the concept that God is separate from us. And we have the concept that we are created by God. If I create this chair is not me. It's just my creation. right? So that is going to need a big change. Because until you don't understand that we are all one, that God is the cause of all, if He's the cause of all, we are the cause. Isn't it? Or no? And then he continues. One more, please, Marcelo. Will one day be given to man to understand the mystery of divinity? He asked this to the high spirits. And the high spirits answer, when your spirits no longer obscured by matter. A few years ago, when I studied this book, I understood this completely different. How do you understand this here, Tatiana? This answer.
When you're no longer focused on this.
Exactly it. Because when I read this, I understood this is when I'm no longer part of a body, physical body. No, has nothing to do with this. It's when the physical world no longer interferes with my choices. When we are free for everything external, and we are 100% sure that who we are is internal here, and that we are creation. And then, when taught his perfection, he has approached God, he will see and an understanding. But we need to move to understand the mystery of divinity. We need to stop focus on the external. Because every time we continue believe in this external stuff, we continue distance from this mystery of divinity. Because this here only exists in everything, but not in external. It's within. And then we're going to understand. Of course, the doctrine of Spiritism had his technique of teaching. The same way in a school. You go to school, you learn. You're in the first grade, you learn as a first grader. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You cannot leave first grade thinking that everything that you learn in the first grade is the absolute truth. And it's the only thing that you need to learn. This is arrogance to think that you already know everything, that you think that you already have everything, all the knowledge to understand the mystery of divinity. We don't. Spiritism do not have that, and none of the other do have it, because all this will come in phases for us, vibrational phases. As you elevate yourself, doors open, new teachings, new things will come. But if you close yourself, it's like you put a pickle inside a jar. It's closed. Nothing else can get in there. And that pickle think that jar is the whole universe and he already knows everything. We act like a pickle inside a jar. And the same thing we did with Spiritist doctrine. And with everything else. And we fight with other people instead of opening our mind and trying to accommodate new things. Open space. If you open space, you accommodate new. If you close, there is no way for you to accommodate anything. And that's exactly what he said here. When your spirit is no longer obscured by this physical world. When you stop thinking that you are a body, that's when you're going to start understanding divinity. When you start thinking that death is a process of punishment. When you stop thinking that death is a process of loss and grief and pain. No, it's not. It's just a simple and regular process that we went through thousands, millions of times. But we think that it's painful. We think that is a punishment because we are obscured by matter. Crying and feeling sorry and sad because somebody died, because you're going to miss them, it's okay. Because you are connected to it. It's a normal process. But despair when you see death, anger, fear when you see death, it does not connect to the natural process. It's like when one of our kids go to Harvard and no, I don't want you to go to Harvard. I want you to stay home because I don't want you far away from me. It doesn't make sense. It's just a normal process. So take out of yourselves that death is a punishment process. It is not. It's just a regular process. Just like breathing, eating, sleeping, walking, dating, having kids, not having kids, marry, not marry. It's just a process of the physical world. And you know that you're going to exist. You have the first concept. Oh, his time here in this physical world has passed, but he continues exists exactly the same way he was. On a place that I'm not there yet, but one day I will be. Isn't that wonderful? Instead of loss, grief, despair, anger. So we're going to start understanding this when we are no longer obscured by matter. All right? So this is the fourth one, right? And the most difficult one for us to agree on it. Continue that. And Kardec continues here. I put another slide here. Go ahead. He say, our inferiority, right, of man's faculties does not allow him to understand the intimate nature of God. In the infancy of humanity, man often confuses with the creature. See? Confuse himself as a... Do you understand what he's saying here? Or no? Renato? Do you understand what his dad said here? You confused that you are a creature. What is a creature? It was created by someone, right? Whose imperfection he attributes to it. But as the moral sense develops in him, he thinks penetrates better into the heart of things. Then he has a fair idea of divinity, and though always incomplete, more in accordance with the sound reason. So, until today, everybody thinks that we are this here. It's right there, all along the Spiritist book. Haven't read that before? So he said that we are confused that we are creatures. We are the creature of God, and we are not. See, man often confuses with the creature. Our understanding is that the God created us. But he's saying clear that it's because of imperfection of his attributes. It was there all along. Go ahead, continue past. Then the last one. Marcelo. The last one, what you vibrate, you are. All right. So this is very important. If you want to give a path, a different path to your life, all right? If you're not satisfied with this that you live in now, okay? Change it. Because we know, like I said before, as soon as you think in the future, you are creating a reality. So there's several billions and billions and billions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of realities. One on top of the other, like a book in the pages. You look a book, you think it's just one page, thick book. But if you look closer, it's a whole bunch of pages. And reality is just like a book. So, the universe, you being vibrational, that's what we are. Okay? The entire universe, the entire reality that you wanted for yourself already exists because you want it. Right? So, Pedro, what do you want for your job?
Yes.
Hmm?
To be as profitable as possible.
Here we go. To be as profitable as possible. Did you ever think how much money you want to make in your job? Did you put a number on it?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Here we go. So when you did that, that reality already exists. You know why that didn't happen yet? Because you don't want it to. You closed that door. Because with your bag of beliefs, you create a whole bunch of obstacles to get there. But the universe works this way. We are here to give whatever you want it. Why? Why? Whatever. Why? Remember, because we are one. Okay? And everything is vibrational. When he created a reality, he created, but he never set the path to it because he never believed on it.
Because after you opened it.
He created and put it there inside the closet and closed the door. He didn't leave the door open. You know what I get a lot of from my youth group? I do the youth group on Monday, and they say, listen, you know a lot of bad people in the world has a lot of money, lives a very good life. Because the youth, they think having a lot of money is to have a good life. That's fine. It is fine. And they say, why bad people are so rich and have so much things, and good people don't have anything? That's how they see it. Because people, they are focused on what they wanted. They create a reality for them. It doesn't matter what your behavior is. Because the universe is neutral. There is no polarity in the universe. There is no positive and there is no negative. It's neutral. And whatever you want, if you want it, really want it, it is yours. The thing is just that we don't believe it. And these people that put the path to it, they believe it. I told a story here for the actor. What's his name? From the movie Liar Liar?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. That is the perfect. I'm going to give the example, but it's money related, but it's okay. So he left Canada on a small car, and he said to himself, I'm going to Los Angeles. He had no place to sleep or nothing inside his car. And before he left, he wrote a check for himself for $10 million. Do you know guys know the story? Right? 4 years later, he gave that check to his father because he was making movies, making $10, $15 million per movie. But that's what it is. There is no polarity on the universe. There is no right and wrong. There is no positive or negative. Right and wrong is according to our perspective. Negative and positive is according to our perspective. It's how we see things. He focused on that path. And there was no way that the universe was not going to give it to him. Because he already created. And it's his.
I have an example of exactly that. Some years ago, we decided to make a vision board. And on that vision board, we made a check out. And we signed a check and we put a value. And then less than a year later, that was the exact down payment of our house that we had. It was $25 more actually, but the exact down payment.
Here we go. But people always focus on money, focus on the material. Let's not waste this power with something so small. Let's use it for something big.
Like health,
like health,
a clean ocean,
like a clean planet of violence and all this, of seeing a planet of oneness, that everybody's equal, without judgment, without wars. Let's wake up every morning this way. If you want money, do money also, because there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Nothing wrong. If you want money, I'll teach you how to get it. Wake up every day in the morning. Create this movie. No, wake up in the morning. Create this little movie in your head. How exactly you want it. You want a company. Create this movie in your head that you're going into your company, the name of your company on the building, put the colors on the building, put the car that you drive into that location. Do this, and you see what's happening.
Meditate about it.
Huh?
Jim Carrey. Now you can see him say he doesn't want to make movies anymore.
Exactly. You know why?
I just want to ask you something. Don't you need to be also prepared to receive what you asking, and then you don't make a mistake and throw everything in the garbage? Like, I want that, but I'm really prepared to receive, or it's going to take me 10 years, like Jim Carrey now says. I'm
4 years.
not going to make any other movie because they just give him a garbage.
No. What happened to Jim Carrey was different. He went in a path of the spirituality very deep.
I know.
In the middle of this path, he had a girlfriend that killed herself and wrote a letter to his father saying that she killed herself because of him. So this shake him really to make...
I want to understand.
To make him understand. But you don't need to be prepared for anything. Because like I say, there is no polarity on the universe. If you want to burn all your money, it's okay. There is no preparation for nothing. It's just what you want it. Okay? Because all the money that you have in the world, you're going to die one day, this money is going to go to somebody anyway. Is that person needs to be prepared when you die? No. There is no such a thing as preparation. Okay? You don't need to be prepared to have money or not to have money. Okay? You just need to be prepared to understand who you are.
That's what I'm saying. You need to also be prepared to be in that vibration.
No, not prepare. You just need to choose that path, and everything else will come to you. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or no money, if you have a family or no family. Forget about the external. It's not important. Not important. You see a lot of people there with a lot of money and spending, that way they want to spend, and it's okay. It's fine. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. What we need to focus is, you need to focus for what you really, really want it. And you need to be sincere with yourself. And it will happen. It is. Done deal. It is done deal. This is already proven by quantum physics. The realities are there, multiple. So every time you go in the future, you are creating a reality. That's right. This planet has so many realities because imagine billions of people creating realities every day. And this reality needs to exist. Why they need to exist? When you think something, you create. Why?
Because it's already created.
No, honey. Why, when you think something, you create it?
Because you wish you want to know.
Because you're divine.
Yeah.
We have that power.
Because you are God.
Yeah, we have that power.
Simple as that. What is the universe? Thought. So every time you focus on something, you are creating on the same magnitude that this universe was created. You are not only creating a reality, you are creating a universe inside another universe. Everybody. So, you're going to create the amount of realities, and you're going to go through this, all this, if you don't stop vibrating with the external. As soon as you connect to the internal, those realities no longer exist. Why do you think we keep coming back in here in a process of reincarnation? I study reincarnation a lot on the mediumship meetings with other people, and there is no forward movement. It's absolutely the same. Because we continue living the realities that we created, focus on the external. When we start creating reality, focus with divinity, there is no longer this process of keep coming back in here. But it's hard for us to understand, to accept that. Why? Because we already built in so many beliefs, and we don't want to let them go. But do this. You start questioning your beliefs. Every single one of them. Two times 2 is what? 4, right? Why 1 times 1 is 1? Think about it. What? There is 1 here, and there is another 1 here. If I multiply both of them here, why this 1 becomes 1 only?
Because it's a whole.
No, because you want it to be like this, honey.
We were taught that.
We are taught that. Simple as that. You need to start questioning everything that you believe. Everything. As soon as you start questioning, then you're starting progressing. Not evolving, progressing. Okay? Start questioning. Question everything. And you see how things will change. And this vibration is going to take you to a different location. The only reason the cycle of MK, because we continue vibrating on this belief. On this belief. As soon as you question that, there is no more room for us to come back in the same reality, on the same. You moved. You progress. And the strange thing is, when you read the Spirit's book, Kardec do not use the word evolution. He used the word progress. There is a difference there. And I have to check for us, please. And you see, it's a difference. Okay? So start questioning your beliefs. Because when you don't question your belief, This coming in from your arrogance of knowing.
Can I read what it says?
Yes.
It says, progress is about the upgrading of levels. The next level is better than the previous ones.
See?
Evolution is the adaptation of an organism to live a better life in its habitat.
Here we go. That's the reason he didn't use the word evolution. He used the word progress. It's different.
Why in Spiritism, all the time they say evolution?
It's not Spiritism, honey.
No.
It's the people that read and pass what they wanted. Because instead of you going there and reading and knowing for yourself, you rather have somebody doing everything for you. The same way we think there is a God holding us in the palm of the hand, that He's in control, and there isn't. We are in control of everything. When I stopped listening to people talking about Spiritism and I went in there and studied it and read it and saw, I say, my God, what is these people talking about? Because people put out there according to their beliefs. They go into the books and say, I don't agree with this here, but this is a Spiritism. So they adapt for a different thing. So evolution is for you to adapt to this environment here. And that's why you keep coming back here every life. Because you are thinking in evolve. You want to progress. It's different. We need to take another look of everything that we say. And that's what happened with every religion. Because first of all was the Catholicism. They used to do the things in Latin and nobody understood nothing. What is that for? And then it was translated in a few languages and nobody. And then when it was open for every language, people don't want to read, people don't want to study, people don't want to waste their time to go forward. They rather come in here and sit and see me talking or other people talking. I was shocked when I read the Spiritist book, and there was no such a thing of law and cause and effect. There was no such a thing. And you see everybody talking about law, cause and effect, law here, law there, law. There is no such a thing. So, we are vibrational, right? Science already proved that with the experiment with the molecules, right? They shoot the molecules. When it's nobody in the room, it's solid. When it's somebody in the room, it's vibrational. Why? Because they call the observer, all right? So they saw that we are vibrational. They already proved that there is a sound in the universe, and the universe was created by a sound. Sound is vibrational. So do not limit yourself and on this only path of knowledge of evolution. Open yourself. See yourself as, how can I say, this great phrase that was told to me one time that I'm going to carry that for me for the rest of my life. Become nothing to achieve everything. Because when you think that you are something, you lock yourself out of new things. Okay? So keep yourself open and live your life vibrational towards, with far away from judgment. Use your life, live a life like, the messages say, a life of love. What is a life of love is? Is to see others as exactly how you are. Is to see others without any judgment, and it does not matter what he does. Is to see others exactly the same way you are. That's a life of loving. It's not a life of going there and trying to help people. I'm here to help you. No, you're not here to help. You're here to serve. What do you want me to do? Right? Put yourself on the same level as the person. When you say, I'm here to serve, you are equal. When you say, I'm here to help you, you are better than that person. So move you back. I'm here to serve. Simple. I'm here to collaborate. Just like a seed in the ground. There's collaboration of the sun, the water, the dirt, and the seed. And none of them are better than the other. And that's where we need to vibrate it now. That's what the people are talking about, this new, how do they call that? This new age that's coming in, this transformation. The planet, huh? This transformation that the planet is, everybody keeps talking about, none of that is coming. This transformation needs to happen within us. It's not on the planet, it's not on the universe, it's none of that. It's all blah, 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 blah. To put fear in people of the end of the world and catastrophes and this and that. Okay? Focus on yourself. Focus and vibrate on a path that you want to go. But be true to yourself and you see what's happening. Any questions? This is the 5. You guys remember? First one is what? You exist.
Yeah.
The second one is what? Everything happens here and now. The third one is what? Come on, people. How are you guys going to be able to focus if you don't have these principles, very important principles to yourselves? What is the most complicated one to understand? That we are all one. Right? Focus on this one. It's too much 5. Focus on this one. This is the most important one. Because this one is going to take you to the others. Okay? So focus on this one. You don't have to focus on this 5. Just focus on this one, and this one will take you to the other 4. Any questions?
Can you please repeat, because I was not here in the beginning. Can you repeat the 5?
Volta. Okay. Volta. Everything's here now. So the first one, you exist. The second one, everything's here now. The third one, we are one. We forgot one, that everything changes. Go ahead. The fourth one, continue. Continue forward. Forward. You are what you vibrated. And the fifth one, everything changes. Go ahead. And we know that the universe in a constant change. Everything's changing in our lives. Going back, passing. People are changing. Our jobs are changing. Our personality should change, but it never changed, but it should change. But a lot of people change their personality, and it should be in a process of changing constantly. Every day you should have a different personality, okay? Because every day that you acquire something new, you need to apply it. As soon as you acquire something new and apply it, that personality change. Okay, everything in the universe has changed. The solar system is going to change one day. The solar system, 10 billion years ago, instead of one sun, it was 2 suns. Now it's only one. The solar system, 15 billion years ago, had 20 planets. Now 8 planets. And one day it's going to have no planets. So everything is changing. This galaxy is moving. It's going to collide with another galaxy 300 billion years from now. Okay, and everything is going to change in this galaxy. The solar system moves on the speed of light inside the galaxy, and everything is moving, so everything is changing. And if you don't want to change, you're going against the river, against the water. So the process is this. You remember all 5? But focus in on one only. is going to take you all in there. But we divide this way so the person can understand, right? It's exactly what Jesus Christ said to the apostles. Look at the flowers. Look how beautiful they are. Look at the birds in the sky. They have no words or anything. They have food and everything, right? So, first of all, concern yourself with the kingdom of heaven. What is the kingdom of heaven? Where is the kingdom of heaven on you? Inside of you, right? So he said, concern yourself with the kingdom of heaven. So concern yourself in finding the kingdom of heaven within yourself, and everything else will come to you. That's what he said. Exactly what we're talking about here today, but in a different way of saying. He never said the kingdom of heaven is the skies or another planet. He always said the heaven exists where? Inside of you. But we don't listen. We never listen. Because we are building blocks of beliefs. And we don't want them, let them go. We don't want to change. We want to continue exactly the same. All right? Thank you very much. Have a good night.